People hate on Star Wars just to hate on Star Wars. I'm Real Slim Katie 25. This is Geek Gourmet, and I just watched the first episode of The Acolyte, okay? I think a lot of people are so adamant about not liking new things that they will go into a new show in a series and a franchise that they claim to love, wanting to hate it. The same people that I see talking about how the sequels are too silly are saying this is too serious. And I don't get it, man. I want to love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I want everything they make to be awesome. And you know what? Not everything they make I'm going to like. And that's okay. But that's not the case here. And I'm so sick of seeing reviews bashing everything all the time. So today, I'm going to tell you about all the stuff I liked in the first episode of The Acolyte, okay? Also, spoilers from here on out. If you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and give it a watch and then come on back, okay? I'll be right here. So, we start off with this awesome choreography scene, awesome fight scene. A Force user is what they say in the episode, and an older Jedi Endara. It's pretty baller, okay? This younger person, who we're assuming is the main character at this point, going crazy, right? We see, like, the older Jedi Endara is trying to, like, talk through this a little bit, maybe. But then, this is so good, okay? She takes one of her blades, throws it at the bar back, at the bottom of the bar, knowing that the older Jedi is going to save that person, and uses that moment of weakness to kill her opponent. That's fucking badass! That's awesome! I mean, not for Endara. Not good for her, but I thought that was really cool. Really interesting. Other things I liked, okay? We go ahead and we get into this first ship. Into the ship. We see what we think is the same character, right? Interacting with a friend, a coworker named Philic. And Philic has a droid that looks like an AC unit. And it's so cute. Not to mention that our main character, Osha, which is triggering, by the way, to anybody who's had to sit through their OSHA 10, 15, or 30. That's going to be said a lot in this show. But anyways, Osha has this awesome, cute little, like, honestly looks like a Walkman-sized droid. So we've already, first of all, in this first episode, we've already got the makings of a great Star Wars product, right? Awesome combat. Check. Cute new droids. Check. What else? What else do I need? A lot of stuff, but that's aside from the point. Anyways, we see a moment where Osha and Philic go out onto the top of the ship that they're working on to do some repairs, which is technically illegal, but that's okay. And there's a fire, and through this, we understand that Osha has a traumatic past. Her family was killed in a fire. So she and Luke might have something in common, but don't. That was funnier when I wrote it down. Not as funny that I say it out loud. Then we have these two Jedi come onto the ship. They interrogate Osha, saying, "We know you killed this Jedi. We saw you there." And the barback literally identifies her. And she's like, "No, I parted ways from the Jedi. Like, I'm good. Like, I don't have any bad blood. I'm just working here because my skills as a Jedi are not transferable to other fields." I was like, oh, kind of like my degree in acting, which is why I'm here. But we're, like, seeing this, like, a little bit of charm. I'm liking all of these characters so far. I'm intrigued by. Not to mention, the production design is beautiful. In, like, every Star Wars show, I feel like this. But I'm always like, super stoked about what's happening. But anyways, through this interrogation scene, we kind of come to understand that Osha lost her family at 8 and was taken in by the Jedi Council at a very young age. And then we know that she left the Jedi about 6 years from when this show is taking place currently. That's all we really know at this point. And we're like, great, the Jedi are going to escort her for questioning to Coruscant, to the Jedi Temple. And then we cut to the shot of younglings. And I'm like, oh no, the last time I saw younglings on Coruscant did not go well. But it was cute. We actually had some, like, non-human Padawans too, so that was really, really cute. And then we see Osha. We cut back to Osha on this ship. Oh, I skipped a huge part. Anyways, we meet Master Soul, who was what we understand Osha's main trainer, who is played by Lee Jung Jae from Squid Games. If you don't know, And I think he shines so much in this episode. He's got such a great energy about him, which I know sounds like stupid. That sounds like something somebody that has nothing better to say would say. But I just like the presence that he carries in this character is so much of what I look and I think about Jedi that I admire or would want to be trained under, right? It's so much of that in him. One of his, Padawans asks him, like, why are you holding, like, an old holodeck from one of your old Padawans? That could encourage sentimentality and nostalgia, which is not, apt of a Jedi. And he's like, everything that you, like, and I'm paraphrasing here, right? But everything that you learn is a lesson. And that needs to be taken so you don't repeat history, right? And I think it's interesting because thinking about, like, great Jedi we've seen, at least in the movies of this franchise, have all had some kind of emotional attachment, right? Most notably Obi-Wan, although that did not turn out well for him. Wah, wah, wah. But I feel like having a Jedi to acknowledge that there's some kind of, like, that emotions exist is really nice. And it is balance of, a Jedi is not fully robotic and completely apathetic to struggle, and just using that to guide and find inner peace I found was really, really interesting. We also could then, after that, we realized that Master Soul is going to go retrieve Osha when we find out that Osha's ship has crashed. The ship that Osha was being transported to Coruscant on. Osha, we see some, like, awesome heroic actions, All the prisoners on this ship were like, we're going to plan an escape. And Osha's like, I trust the Jedi. I really don't want to escape. And then everybody's escaping. The ship is crashing. And Osha allows someone else to escape instead of her. Even though he betrayed her, we see that she has the right intentions. She's doing good things. And that's really exciting. Also, the prisoner that betrayed her was wearing this really, what's it called? A debuk or something, this like parasite that was like used as a muzzle. Very cool, very thrillery, very scary, and awesome. Anyways, we see Osha crash on a planet and she's having maybe some hallucinations, maybe some force apparitions, unclear at the moment, because we see on the ship that Osha not very strong with the force anymore. Right? So we're starting to ask some questions. What's up? We just saw Osha use the Force in the first scene with the daggers all over the time. And then we come to see her crash on the ship. And we come to find out that she has a twin sister who died in this fire. And we all know movie rules. If we didn't see them die, they're not dead. And also, even if we did see them die, that doesn't mean that they're dead. So immediately we're like, oh, that's really interesting, because I was creating this kind of distrust in this character Osha. Like, why is she lying to these Jedi? And that makes me really want to trust her, because now I'm like, fuck, I was not rooting for you. So now I feel awful about that. I'm definitely rooting for you now. And it's kind of awesome. It's really, really interesting. Seeing this really cool connection. And I'm like, wow, I automatically have this trust for this main character that I did not think I was going to have, which is really, really cool. And then at the end of the episode, we have this voiceover saying, an acolyte kills without a weapon. An acolyte kills the dream. We don't see who this hooded character is yet. I'm assuming we get into that in the second episode. But I wanted to record this first before I get into that one. Really awesome voice, first of all. Second of all, we do see that Osha has a twin sister who is still alive, May, who is this acolyte. And just so you know, I looked up what an acolyte is. And an acolyte is somebody who assists in like a religious ceremony or process. And I didn't know that. I honestly thought they invented the word for this show. I'm sorry to my stepmom, who is a pastor. But that makes me have some really interesting questions about who is she serving under? What are their intentions? And I'm pumped. I'm so excited about the tone of this show and where this is going, and I can't wait to see what comes next.